he was actually convicted on a lesser charge.
And it should have been murder.
That is our contention.
Luz and Oscar Pistorius will be hauled back to jail, not this time for months, but for years. John Ray, ITV News, South Africa.
Still to come on tonight, news at 10. First look at tomorrow's front pages, plus toxic gas fears at the Tianjin blast site.
And the Tongans toughen up their training with a month to go until the Rugby World Cup. Stories and more after this very short break.
Jeff needs me to be with him 24/7. We went to see the neurologist who said that Jeff had dementia. I've promised him that we're going to do this journey together. He can't do simple tasks like even making a cup of tea now. But it's like I've lost my best friend. The Carers Forum is a place where unpaid carers can go to speak to local organisations face to face and get help and advice.
There are 7 million unpaid carers in the UK. There can always be more support, and that's why things like the Carers Forum with Barclays is really important. To find out more, pop into your local branch or visit barclays.co.uk/Carers Forum.
Welcome back. Chinese investigators looking into last week's huge and deadly explosions in the port city of Tianjin say the warehouses there were allowed to operate without a license. Now that will only add to claims for compensation. The authorities say levels of poisonous chemicals in the area are now safe. But as our China correspondent Lucy Watson reports, there is no escaping the terrible stench.
When you see destruction on a scale like this, it is difficult to imagine where and how a cleanup begins. And the authorities in Tianjin are dealing with poisonous chemicals. Nobody knows what fumes they're breathing in, so they're angry. But many whose homes were destroyed are silent. Their posters make demands for compensation instead. Bin Jiang is one of those homeless. He took me to see what remains of his apartment. Everybody is heartbroken, he told me.
I can't explain how sad I am when I see my home like this. And I hope the government will tell me the truth about what happened. I have one simple request, that I get money back for my house.
And he's worried about his health. It means this man is under pressure. Bao Jingling is in charge of monitoring the chemicals and the air quality here. He maintains that both are at standard levels. These chemicals are up to the standard. I can taste these chemicals.
That's your feeling, not my feeling.
He had no other explanation. But the warehouse storing 3,000 tons of toxic material allegedly didn't have a license to store them until just a few weeks ago. Told to wear a gas mask, ITV News got access to one of the buildings closest to that area. The power of the explosion's impact was like that of a missile. It does indeed look like a war zone. 114 people died here, 70 are still missing. So emotions will continue to run high until the full truth is known. Lucy Watson, ITV News, Tianjin.
Here, lower food prices helped hold down inflation last month. The retail price index was unchanged on 1%. The July figure is used by rail companies for fare increases for the year ahead.
Michelle Mone, founder and boss of the Ultimo lingerie company, has resigned from the board. She's been appointed by the government to help find ways for people from tough backgrounds to set up their own businesses.
And the maternity leave of this Marks & Spencer boss Laura Wade-Gery was announced to the stock market today. Such is her importance to the company. The executive director will return in the new year after the new addition to her family.
Now just a month to go until the Rugby World Cup. The first overseas team, the Tongans, are already here and the home nations are already gearing up too.
England's head coach Stuart Lancaster told ITV News today that he is feeling the added responsibility of doing well on home soil. Our sports editor Steve Scott reports on the big build-up.
If you think the game itself is brutal, just look at the training. The giant Tongan team is the first of 19 to arrive in England ahead of the tournament. Their temporary base, a school in Surrey. Others will follow shortly.
It's the biggest tournament, and I think everybody's dream is to play in the World Cup, and that's where you'll find out if you're made for it.
The prize they're chasing continues its tour of the country. Today the chance to pose alongside it in Northampton, the latest stop in a rugby heartland as the trophy heads for Twickenham. The last World Cup in 2011 saw a worldwide television audience of 3.9 billion, making it the third largest TV sports event after the Olympics and Football World Cup. They sold 2.2 of 2.4 million tickets available. That's up 65% on 4 years ago, for 48 matches at 13 venues across England and at Cardiff's Millennium Stadium.
Stand together.